Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, like many of you, I watched in real time Damar Hamlin go down after making a tackle. I immediately concluded that he had to have some type of a heart situation. And we all witnessed what happened. You saw the players, you saw the CPR. We didn't see the CPR, but we knew it was being administered. We found out later they did the defibrillator. They had the ambulance. And we saw all that take place. Now, as you know from my social media posts, I believe immediately I asked Bulldog Nation for prayers. So I said. And then I followed the story from there, just like the local news media did, including people who printed that he had been intubated at the hospital. Now, I want all of you to know that if I end up being wrong, unlike news sources that never admit they were wrong, I will admit that I am wrong. I will apologize for being wrong, but it will not be for any type of malicious, evil intent. Damar Hamlin is a professional football player. I found out that he might be the second football player, the last one that died playing football in 1971. Somebody pointed out to me. That is news. That is reality news. Now, I had two sources. I actually have another source working on it now. But I had two sources. I do not have to reveal my sources. I want to just say this rhetorically. What benefit would I have of jumping the gun, getting the story wrong about something like that? Zero. Absolutely zero. Now, I do have a motivation for reporting the story based on what I do, and I'm going to explain that in a second. My sources are two people. One is a dear friend of mine. The other one is a dear friend of mine. Both of them inside the hospital. Okay? Inside the hospital. And I asked them twice, I double-checked twice. In addition to that, I sent my initial proposed text to my team. And I asked the team, this is what I got. This is what, by the way, Bulldog Media is a real news agency. And I said, should we publish this? And it was decided, yes, to publish it. Now, I want all of you to know that at the time that I am doing this, I have watched other local TV stations say, breaking news, update on the condition. And there hasn't been any update on the condition since last night, when they acknowledged he had a cardiac event and he was intubated and he was in critical condition, not breathing on his own. Now, I want all of you to know that if this young man, and by the way, just for the record, I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. If my sources, both of my sources got this wrong, I am going to be really disappointed in these two people that I trust. So, and by the way, when I went back to him, I said, listen, I think this is news. I got to make sure I get this right. So here is what I also know. If he is on life support, he doesn't have brain activity. That is not considered a death officially yet, but it is actually a death as reported. They might be keeping him on life support for all kinds of reasons, organ donations, timing, who knows. But all I know is the local news agencies followed this story hot and heavy, and then they all stopped. Now, my guess is the local news knows what I know. But you have to understand, if they don't do what the NFL or the Bengals or the hospitals tell them to do, they don't get interviews. I don't care about that. So I want you to know that all of my actions last night were in good faith and based upon good sources. And if I get it wrong, I'll admit I got it wrong. Now, I want you to know that those of you that have said, well, that's for his family to report, blah, blah, blah. I want you to know that I heard the mom was with him. So by the time I got the information, there had to be no doubt that the family already knew. And do you really think the family is following me? No, they're not following me. I have an obligation to our fans. I have an obligation to our subscribers and our viewers. Because you see, more and more people are watching me and they're not watching local news, our local news. Now, I want to say some more things about this. They waited for the mom to ride down. That was confirmed. You wait for the mom when you have an acute situation of getting somebody to the hospital. My guess is he was probably DOA. The news. Our tri-state news is so woke, and they are glorifying this thing. You know, they repeat themselves over and over again about the Bengals and Bills fans coming together and all that stuff over and over and over again. They eat it up. They're the ones that are glorifying it, not me. I'm just reporting the facts. Did this guy pass away? Furthermore, the NFL, you trust the NFL? Their manipulation on CTE? Their manipulation on everything? Are you kidding me? ESPN, I still watch ESPN, and I watch two shows, Pardon the Interruption and Around the Horn, every day when I get home from work while I'm eating dinner. And they are so woke, it is unbelievable. But I still watch it to find out what was going on in the news. That's my hour of sports every day. The NFL is woke. You know, the Pledge of Allegiance, the Black Lives Matter, I mean, all of that stuff. Forcing their players to get vaxxed. Think about that. They forced their players. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This raises the question whether this young man was vaxxed. Booster vaxxed. How many vaxes did he have? And it's reported, I can show you all the news, this is happening to young athletes all over the world. All over the world. Another thing that I posted I feel strongly about is this. I am not a celebrity worshiper. I'm not at all, like zero. And I marvel at all, by the way, Damar Hamlin's life is precious. So is everybody else's. Military people die, police die, children die, raped, kidnapped, trafficking, crime in our cities, people getting shot. And we don't have even close to the outpouring of emotion. By the way, you get it from me. Every day it hits me. Murders and everything else. But no, because this guy's a football player, it's awe. By the way, he deserves our awe. But so do all these other people. All life is precious. Furthermore, I'm strong. Always remember that. I'm tougher than an oak. And I have a right to my free speech. I want all of you to know that you can come on my social media pages anytime. And you can disagree with me politely. You can point out why I'm wrong. We can argue. But the one thing that you will never be allowed to do is personal attacks. The worst one, the last one I saw was crazy. He said, I'm looking forward to the day where somebody reports on Facebook that you're dead. Now, I want you to know that's my Facebook pages. I will block you and delete you. All these people say, oh, you're blocking and deleting us. And let me tell you what my team always does. And we check this out. 9 out of 10 times, do you know what all these people are? They are woke people from out of state. They're woke people locally. They say stuff like this, that you just lost my vote. And you go and you check them out. They don't even live in Kentucky. Or they live in Kentucky, but I don't know who the hell they are. And there's some haters or whatever. One guy says, I'm embarrassed to live in Independence because of you. That's right, Steve Janke, I saw that. Really? Steve, I will put my record of things that I've done for the Independence community up against yours any day of the week. Fighting for the location of the jail for free. The Independence Town Center. The donation of the park, fire district, senior center, a police station, and Memorial Park land. And on and on and on. I am a credit to the independence community, including the law office is here, I live here, the Bulldog Media Studio is here, I pay a lot of taxes here. I am proud of it. People say, well, this is going to cost you your governor's race. No, it isn't, because the people who support me are going to get all of what I'm saying, every bit of it. Now, what cracks me up, so many of you, is you want to trust the local media. You want to trust the national media. You want to trust the NFL. You want to trust Big Pharma, when all of them lie to you every single day. Locally, they didn't report the St. E's lawsuit on billing fraud. They haven't reported the St. E's Tri-Health merger talks. They didn't report on the Butcher Pakistan book release. They didn't report on our winning the fraud claim going forward against Medical Protective. They didn't report our huge victory in the Ohio Supreme Court 2 years ago. They didn't call me to get my side of the story about my nephew. They didn't report why did the VA director in Cincinnati leave. They didn't report why the NKU president didn't leave. And let me tell you something else, folks. It's not HIPAA. All these people preaching to me about HIPAA, 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 HIPAA. Guess what? The people who reported this to me aren't governed by HIPAA. I'm not governed by HIPAA. And you know what? All of you that don't understand HIPAA, guess what? You don't have a private cause of action for HIPAA. You can't sue. All you can do is file a complaint to some useless board. I know, because I got asked this question all the time. And you know what HIPAA is supposed to do? HIPAA isn't to protect patients. It's to scare you in reporting things. And let me tell you, all you healthcare workers, I fought for all of you, in that vax mandate. And I've gotten enough acclamation and thank you from all of you that appreciate my efforts. But all of you who are my haters, that keep bringing up this HIPAA stuff, where were you at Children's Hospital, University Hospital, Deaconess Hospital, Jewish Hospital, Good Samaritan Hospital, Christ Hospital, and Westchester Hospital telling on Durrani? Where were you? Where were you? Reggie Williams, the 1970s, 80s linebacker, the Bengals, said pro football was a series of head-on car collisions. Every time I watch a game, I say this out loud every game, I cannot believe more people are not seriously hurt. The NFL wants to control this issue. Look how they covered COVID until it was playoff time. Yep. Look how they covered the vax, the mandate, forcing vax on of them. All the athletes, ooh, they all get behind Grinner. Let's get Grinner back, but not the Marine. Watch all the athletes commenting about this when all those woke ESPN reporters went after Kyrie Irving, who did not want to get vaxxed, went after Aaron Rodgers and Cole Beasley of the Bills, who didn't want to get vaxxed. See how it works? See how it works? My report was that he died of an aortic aneurysm. That's my report. If it's wrong, maybe he's on life support. By the way, I hope I am wrong. And by the way, wasn't it awful? Susie Korber, whatever her name is, how bad was she last night? I mean, they were so, Adam Schefter was okay, Buck and Aikman were okay. Booger and Susie were just awful. I mean, just awful, were they not? Awful. So I always forget something when I do this. I made a little bit of outline here, and I think I covered most of it. But ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I hope I'm wrong. I'll apologize if I'm wrong. But don't accuse me of some agenda and malicious, ooh, you wanted to be first with the news. No, I know how the local news is controlled, and by golly, if this guy died, it should be reported instead of their manipulation of everything. So that's the facts. And if I get additional information, I'll be posting about it. You can trust me. And by the way, keep feeding me information. I love the information you're bringing to me. And I protect the sources. People say, well, we're going to issue a subpoena. Well, who are these sources? And really? What news agency or cop tells you their source? None of them. I don't have to tell listen to me. Do you not think that yours truly doesn't have connections everywhere, and you don't think yours truly doesn't have connections deep inside every hospital in light of the work that we've done? You're darn right we do. I got doctors, nurses, healthcare workers throughout all the hospitals, and they always give me information. So, ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I hope I'm wrong. I wish nothing but the best to Damar Hamlin and his family. And by the way, here's another thing that bothers me about the celebrity thing. All the celebrities want celebrity. They all want attention until something happens that they don't want the attention. Really? And they moan and groan about, oh, yeah, we've got to live our private lives. Really? Like Meghan Markle. That's Exhibit A, of course. Or the Kardashians. You know, they crave all the attention, and then when there's something to report, by the way, no one can tell me that if Damar Hamlin died or was placed on life support, but he was, for all intents and purposes dead, that's not news. And I don't have to wait for a hospital, the NFL, or his family to report it. That is news. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.